The World Cup semifinals are officially here, and we only have 2 games left. We have France against Spain and England against Argentina. We have Mbappe against Lamine Yamal. We have Lionel Messi against Jude Bellingham. The storylines are absolutely insane. It's crazy that we're already only 3 games away until we see who will win the 2026 World Cup. I can't believe it's gone this fast. As always, if you guys have been enjoying all the World Cup content recently, remember to subscribe to the channel. We just recently hit 10K, and I'm trying to hit 11K before next month, but I can't do it without you guys. But without further ado, let's get right into my predictions. Starting off with the first match, we have France against Spain. This is going to be an absolutely incredible match. We have France against Spain, Mbappe against Lamine Yamal, Mike Maignan against Unai Simon. Guys, this is going to be an absolutely incredible match. Now, we have seen this match actually being played a lot over recent years, guys. If you remember, in the Nations League, we saw Spain against France, and this was maybe the craziest matchup between these two teams. 5-4 was the result. Obviously, Spain got the win, but it was a crazy match. 9 goals in total, probably one of the craziest international matches in recent years. But even if we go back to the last Euros, guys, which obviously Spain did end up winning, we saw France versus Spain as well. And once again, Spain did get the win. We saw that beautiful goal from Lamine Yamal. If you guys remember, it was a fantastic goal early on in the game. And obviously, it was a few very early goals, but Spain did get the win once again. So over recent meetings between these two teams, Spain have been the better of the two teams. But I think this year is different, guys. I think this year is definitely going to be different. I want to start off by looking at France so far in this World Cup, because for me, I think they've been the best team in this World Cup. They've been absolutely incredible. They've been very, very consistent. Obviously, guys, they started off their World Cup campaign with a 3-1 win against Senegal. Then they got that 3-0 win against Iraq, a 4-1 win against Norway, another 3-0 win against Sweden. Then they beat Paraguay 1-0, and most recently, they beat Morocco 2-0. Now, this is a game that I really want to talk about, because for me, I said in this match, in my preview, that the winner of France versus Morocco would win the World Cup. For me, I think both of these teams were the most consistent teams in the World Cup, but the way that France dominated Morocco in this game, absolutely dominated. Yes, maybe not in terms of possession, but everywhere else on the pitch. They had almost 4 expected goals in one game. That's one of the most highest expected goals we've seen in this World Cup, and it was against Morocco, a team that were very good defensively, a team that won almost every game prior to this game, that got great results against Brazil, against Netherlands, and France demolished them. That's how good this France team are. And the thing with this France team is that they are clinical in the attack, guys. Obviously, if we look at this attack, first of all, it's star-studded. This is the best attack in the world, guys. We have the likes of Mbappe, who already has 11 goal contributions in his first, 6 games. We have Dembele, who's gotten another 7 goal contributions. Olise, who's gotten 5 assists. Doué, who's gotten a few goal contributions. Same with the likes of Barcola. Guys, this France attack is the best attack in the world. There's no doubt about it. And we need to talk about the main man, Kylian Mbappe, because he's been absolutely incredible this World Cup, guys. He is Mr. World Cup. Phenomenal player. He scored in literally every single game other than the Norway game where he got 2 assists. He's been the best player, in my opinion, of this World Cup. And if you look at this match, guys, this is obviously against a Spain team that is very, very good defensively, guys. Spain, so far in this World Cup, they kept a clean sheet in every single match other than their last match against Belgium, which finished 2-1. And to be fair, in that match, I did say that Belgium would most likely score off a header. I thought that would be the most possible way that they would score, with the height of some of the attackers, and obviously De Ketelaere does get that goal. But Spain still got the win, and Spain's defense throughout this World Cup, guys, it's fair to say they've been the best defense. They've been absolutely incredible. Pedro Porro, Cucurella especially have been very good. Laporte and Cubarsí have had very, very good tournaments. And guys, that's why they kept a clean sheet in every game before that Belgium game. As you can see, they got a clean sheet against Portugal, a clean sheet against Austria, a clean sheet against Uruguay, a clean sheet against Saudi Arabia, and even in the first game against Cape Verde, they also kept a clean sheet. But where do Spain struggle? In my opinion, guys, it is in the attack. I think in the attack, they don't look as confident as they've looked in previous World Cups. And I think a main reason for that is because the main difference maker in this Spanish team over recent years has been the main man, Lamine Yamal, guys. Obviously, Lamine Yamal has suffered with a slight hamstring injury over recent months. And I feel like since that hamstring injury, guys, if you look at him so far in this World Cup, he honestly hasn't done much. I feel like his final product, his final shot since his hamstring injury, it hasn't fully recovered. I feel like he's still a fantastic player, guys. He's still one of the best players. but it's just that final product I don't think is coming off as he would like it to, and he keeps trying these difficult shots, these difficult dribbles. I feel like if Lamine Yamal were to play a little bit more simple, it might honestly be better for this Spanish national team, because I feel like with what he's trying to do recently, it hasn't fully been working out. And that's why when you look at the Spain team in recent games, they dominate possession, they dominate the shots, but they need 15, 20, 25 shots just to get one goal, guys. That's what we've been seeing. It's a very common trend that we've been seeing with Spain in recent games. And I think against France, first of all, I don't think you're going to get that volume of shots. And second of all, you look at this France team who can score a goal every 2 to 3 shots they take, and you look at a Spain team who need at least 10 to 15 shots just to score one goal. I can only see France winning this game. For me, a key matchup in this game and something that Spain need to do if they want to win is I need to see a performance by Lamine Yamal. Now, we know Lamine Yamal is a big game player. We know when it comes to deep in the tournament, he does perform. And this is his time to shine, guys. Lamine Yamal is on Luka Digne, who in my opinion actually hasn't been that bad during this World Cup, but is still probably the weakest link for this France team. If Lamine Yamal can get by Digne, can score off being guarded from Digne, because we know Digne, you know, he like I said, he's probably the weakest point of this France team, then Spain can win this game. If they can score their chances, if a player like Oyarzabal can put the ball in the back of the net, same with Olmo. We've seen Oyarzabal miss incredible chances, and even though he scored a few goals in this tournament, he probably could have gotten double. If Spain can finish the chances that they get, then they can win this game. But guys, I think it's going to be very, very difficult. France will win this game. I think the score will be 2-1. France will score multiple goals and they will advance to the World Cup final. Moving on to the next match, we have England against Argentina. England, the team who a lot of people thought may have a good tournament, but a lot of people don't really expect them to win this tournament, against Argentina, guys. Argentina, the current World Cup champions, and the team that have seemingly been getting a lot of calls going their way, have struggled through a lot of controversy during this World Cup, but have got to the semifinals. And this is going to be a very, very interesting game, guys. Now, I feel like both of these teams are actually in a very similar situation. If you look at both of them so far in this World Cup, I feel like both teams have struggled many times, especially in the knockout stages, but at the end of the day, at the end of the game, always seem to get the result, whether it's through a last minute goal, whether it's through individual brilliance, whether it's through extra time. Both of these teams have always gotten the job done. If we look at England, guys, so far in this knockout stages, they had a very difficult time. First, they were coming up against DR Congo. DR Congo started off with the early goal, but obviously Kane, with those 2 crazy goals at the end of the game, saved England. Then we go to the next game against Mexico, guys. This, for me, was always going to be a very, very tough game for England. But thanks to the heroics from, once again, Kane and also Bellingham, they got the 3-2 win, even being a man down. And guys, even in the last game against Norway, once again, Norway started off with their early goal, a beautiful, beautiful goal by Sheldrup, but belly goal comes to save England in the final minutes. Crazy. But like I said, if we take a look at Argentina, they also haven't had the smoothest ride, guys. In the round of 32, they were coming up against Cape Verde, who most people thought that they would win 3-0, 4-1, 5-0. It was 2-2 going into extra time, and we saw the own goal from Cape Verde. Obviously, it was the header from Romero, but it ended up being an own goal. But there was many times in this game where Cape Verde probably could have upset it and knocked out Argentina. Now, in the next game, guys, once again, they were coming up against Egypt. Egypt with the 2-goal advantage, arguably to some people, maybe even could have been 3. And Argentina scoring 3 goals in the last 13 minutes to come back is absolutely mad. And guys, even in the last game against Switzerland, the game that just took place a few days ago, guys, in this game, Argentina got the early goal. Then we saw that great goal from Ndoye. And after that, guys, honestly, Argentina struggled. I thought that in the first half and in the second half, there was many chances where Switzerland could have possibly took advantage of this game, especially in the first half. Look at all this momentum to Switzerland, guys. I feel like Switzerland probably could have got a result from this game, but at the end of the day, Argentina get the job done once again. And finally, like I mentioned, it was from the players that needed to turn up. Julian Alvarez and obviously Lautaro Martinez, guys. I've been saying it so much with Argentina. They cannot keep relying on Messi. In the group stages, in the early knockout stages, fair. But now when you're in the quarterfinals, when you're in the semifinals, if you get to the finals, you cannot rely on one man, because realistically, he's going to get triple teamed if the other teammates aren't performing. So I feel like both of these teams have been going through very similar type of games, similar type of results so far in this World Cup. And for that reason, I think this will be a very, very interesting game, guys. And honestly, this is probably the more 50-50 game. I think it could really go either way. And I think at the end of the day, it will come down to a few very simple aspects. First off, I think the managers will play very important roles in this game, guys. Obviously, we know Scaloni won the World Cup with Argentina in 2022, and he is a good manager. But I think Thomas Tuchel is the better manager, and I think his in-game management has actually been very, very good during this World Cup. I feel like he's had to manage with a few different things. You know, we've seen Reece James suffer with an injury. Obviously, we saw that red card to Jarrell Quansah. We've seen a couple of different situations with the wingers, and I feel like every single time he's always adjusted his lineup in the best way possible, whether it's playing some players slightly out of position, whether it's rotating wingers, whether it's dealing with injuries and red cards. I think he's been very, very good with his in-game management, and for that reason, I think England have really, really succeeded. But the main factor, guys, with both of these teams is the difference makers. For England, players like Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham, who have pretty much scored and assisted in almost every single goal in this World Cup for England. And on Argentina, guys, it is obviously the main man, Lionel Messi. Now, guys, like I said, Lionel Messi is a fantastic player. He's had a fantastic tournament. As you can see, other than that game against Switzerland, he scored in every single game and multiple goals in some of the games as well as getting a couple assists. But he needs help. He cannot be the only player that is scoring, that is getting assists for this team. And that's why we saw in the last game against Switzerland, where Argentina did get the result, because he had help with Lautaro Martinez, with Julian Alvarez, who I said needed to perform if they wanted to win, and they did in fact perform. But I think that's the same situation with England, guys. You look at a player like Jude Bellingham, guys. They've been so reliant on Jude Bellingham, especially in these knockout stages. Fair enough to Harry Kane in the group stages, it was mainly him, but I think in the knockout stages, I think Jude Bellingham has really lifted this team, has really been almost like the captain of this team, especially against Mexico and against Norway. Holy shit, the way he has put this team on his back is absolutely insane, guys. But similar with Messi, you cannot only rely on the likes of Jude Bellingham or a Harry Kane, because at the end of the day, if they don't perform, their team will suffer. Now, guys, how can England win this game? A lot of people will probably be wondering how England can win. In my opinion, I think it is actually through their wide players like Gordon, Madueke, Rashford, Saka, whoever Tuchel decides to start. I think they can win England this game. The reason behind that is because if you look at Argentina's wide players like Tagliafico, players like Molina, I don't think they've been that good during this World Cup. I think they've actually probably been the weakest points in this Argentinian team. To be fair, I also think De Paul has been very, very poor as well. I don't think he's been very good. But the fullbacks are definitely a weak point for Argentina. Their center backs have been pretty good. They've been very good going forward. We've seen goals from both of them. But like I said, their fullbacks have been a weak point. So I think players like Anthony Gordon, Madueke, Rashford, Saka, whoever plays on the wing, taking on these fullbacks one-on-one, getting by them, and then having a player like Kane, a player like Bellingham, just on the top of the box, ready to put it in one time, in the middle of the box, getting into space. That is how England can win this game, and that's how they can score multiple goals in this game. Now, how can Argentina win this game? They need to do what they do best, and that is proper tiki-taka 1-2 football, and using that aggressiveness, that mentality that they have. We know these Argentinians are mentality monsters, and we know that they will be aggressive in this game. If they can get on these English players' nerves, they can get these English players to start making more rash decisions, rash challenges, possibly getting into fights. That's how Argentina will win this game. That's how you might accidentally lose Messi in the box and he'll be open to score a goal. That's how Argentina can win this game. But like I said, England have a lot of players that can counter this Argentinian team. With that being said, I do think there will be a lot of goals in this game, guys. And especially if you look at both of these two teams' recent form, they've both been conceding a lot of goals, guys. If you look at England's last 5 games, they've conceded, 5 goals. And you look at Argentina's last 5 games, they've conceded 6 goals. So both of these teams are conceding at least 1 goal per game, if not more than that. So with that being said, I can see goals in this game. Both teams have star players in the attack, but defensively have weaknesses. So I can see goals. I think this game will be 2-2 at the end of full time. It will go past extra time, go to penalties. And in penalties, a place where Argentina loves to be, a place where Argentina won the 2022 World Cup, I think England will beat Argentina 5-4 on penalties, 2-2 after full time and extra time, and England will advance to the World Cup final. But guys, those are my semi-final predictions. I predict England to beat Argentina and France to beat Spain, and England will face France in the World Cup final, guys. We got all the quarterfinal predictions correct. Hopefully we get these correct as well. As always, guys, if you've been enjoying all the World Cup content as this competition is finally coming to an end, what an insane competition it's been so far. But if you've been enjoying all the videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below, and I'll be sure to reply to every single comment. And as always, stay tuned for more videos.